This raggedy city girl mayor, Tiffany Henyard, could be going to jail soon.
History is going to be made today in South Suburban Dolton. Tiffany Henyard will be sworn in as the village's first woman mayor. Henyard won 82% of the vote in the April election. She'll be sworn in at 4 this afternoon at Dolton Main Park.
Tiffany Henyard is the definition of no good for nothing raggedy city girl. Even her election process and her campaign was a foreshadowing of all the bad things that were to come once she got elected. She was already breaking rules, bruh. Damn near paying people to vote for them by buying them gas in exchange for their votes.
Henyard has been the subject of some past controversy. In January, she gave away free gas at a Food for Less in Dolton in what was billed as a kickoff to her mayoral campaign. Some legal experts told CBS 2 political investigator Dana Kozlov at the time that if the gas giveaway didn't cross the legal line, it definitely stood right on it.
Tiffany holds 2 positions in Southside Chicago. She's the mayor for Dolton Village, and she's also a sitting supervisor on the board for Thornton Township. Now, with great power come great responsibility, but Tiffany Henyard is the most irresponsible, money-spending, scamming, no good-for-nothing, raggedy mayor you would ever hear about.
WGN investigates a small south suburb with big bills and leaders with expensive taste. Last night, we showed you how some residents and elected officials claim the local mayor retaliates against people who don't support her.
Well, tonight we look at a spending spree that's also causing questions and concern.
Within a year time frame, she's managed to absolutely bankrupt the city that she just got elected to serve. See, within a year time frame, she's put the city into a $7 million deficit.
When we talk about the deficit, last fiscal year through May, the deficit was $2.5 million in our operating account. This year through the report we got, which was September 30th, I pulled that up as you were speaking. So from May through September, there was an additional $4.2 million of deficit. So you couple those two together, the deficit is growing and it's approaching $7 million.
After damn near bankrupting the city, she now has the nerves to withhold financial records from the trustees because they alerted the public of the deficit that this mayor has put them in.
And I will share that financial report. We have not received anything this month. And my concern, and sometimes you kind of joke your way through some of the pain because it really is painful. But we speak how in different meetings, Trustee Belcher will bring a lease or an invoice, and then the retaliation on the next month is we don't get access to the accounting system. Here, we talk month after month about our deficit and what it is, and now we're not receiving the financial information.
You're probably asking yourself how? How do you run up a $4.2 million bill in a 12-month period? Well, it's a combination of Tiffany having expensive taste and being frugal. Being frugal in the sense of she hates spending her own money, but the expensive taste still has to be accounted for so the city covers her bill.
We're paying for stuff, and it just makes no sense. She's just doing what she wants to do.
None of them do the things that we do here. We the only ones making sure y'all streets get paid, find ways to fix what is broken.
These are tax dollars.
So is the money being spent on Village credit cards. WGN Investigates obtained copies of statements that reveal Village officials have spent more than $24,000 at restaurants in just 1 year, including this Midlothian barbecue joint and a South Holland sub shop. Other questionable expenses include the streaming service Hulu, flights to Texas, Alabama, and Missouri, and hotel rooms in nearby suburbs, including Madison and Elk Grove Village, plus thousands of dollars spent at a hotel in downstate Pontiac.
In the words of the modern-day Socrates, Boosie Badass, come on, dog. If you can't even pay your own Hulu bill, bro, what are we doing here? What are we doing here, bro? Now, Mayor Tiffany, her response to everything is just to lie.
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
No comment.
Credit card records do shed some light on tax dollars spent at several restaurants near the Strip, including Cafe Hollywood and Hot and Juicy Crawfish.
All right. Any other questions?
So you're not going to answer how taxpayer dollars are being spent? That seems odd.
I just answered it. What do you mean? I just answered your questions.
You said you wouldn't answer about Las Vegas.
You asked me a question and I responded. So any other questions you may
Yes.
have?
Due to her having the IQ of a pea frog, she's unable to come across as believable when she's being dishonest. You see, she lies about spending the city's money on her trip to Las Vegas. However, she got caught red-handed.
The credit card records do shed some light on tax dollars spent at several restaurants near the Strip, including Cafe Hollywood and Hot and Juicy Crawfish.
We need receipts to understand what's going on.
We couldn't help but notice the red hat perched in front of Mayor Henyard throughout the meeting. It's from the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company, which, by the way, was apparently a stop on the Vegas trip. $303 billed to Thornton Township taxpayers.
She's truly unbelievable. This is nuts. Now, her gross spending continues. She spent over $150,000 on a Tahoe truck and then tries to lie about it as if they didn't have receipts of her spending.
Because this is going to be the narrative when we go broke. You're going to say, I wasn't even on the bank account. The trustees did it. When at the end of the day, you're making decisions and spending money and then get mad when we don't approve it because it's not financially sound. I sat here and looked at a lease that y'all was paying $149,000 for one of them trucks. You make absolute, that's like when you 19 years old and you go get a car and the interest rate 27%. That makes absolutely no sense. You're not making great finance. Excuse me? Please state facts. But let me tell you, here it is, dated December 27, 2022, the cash price of a 2023 Chevy Tahoe, $93,216.71. Interest and APR, $55,929.49. Total lease price, $149,146.20. Tell me if it's not facts, because your signature is all on it.
I don't see that.
Okay, but you want me to pass?
I don't.
All right.
I'll
but
give
at
my
the
statement
end,
in a
at
few
the
minutes
end
when
of
you
the
finish.
day, it's
Even an irresponsible teenager isn't going to no dealership and walking away with a deal like that. A $93,000 vehicle, you put $0 down payment, got $54,000 on the interest, now you owe $149,000. Doing that is grossly irresponsible, but doing that with the taxpayers' money is just insane. And also, too, she has no reason why they need the vehicle. She just got it without telling anybody she was getting it. Like, and it continues too, though. She also damn near stole money from the taxpayers for her own charity that she started. Here's how she did it.
So last fall, Henyard did something that would seemingly generate some good publicity, helping establish the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation to help breast cancer patients. And on the very day the charity was chartered, it received a huge donation, $10,000, from the Thornton Township Board, which Henyard presides over.
Remember, she has two jobs. She's the sitting mayor of Dolton Village, and she's also a supervisor on the board at Thornton Township. So essentially, she voted and approved for the county to give $10,000 in taxpayer money to her own personal charity. How is this legal? Like, how is this even legal? But it doesn't stop there, right? She wanted to create merch for her charity. So what did she do? Well, she voted on her own to give her charity $17,000 to produce shirts for her charity.
That's right. Henyard billed thousands of dollars in hotel rooms and meals during the trip to Thornton Township and Dolton credit cards. In addition, the videos show Henyard used multiple village and township vehicles owned by taxpayers to escort the caravan, including a flatbed trailer with a photographer, flying a drone, and a DJ. Along the way, Henyard sold and gave away t-shirts and hoodies, also available on her charity's website. A week before the trip, the township paid $17,000 for specially printed hoodies and t-shirts, but won't say what they're for.
Now, when she was confronted by this, well, she wanted to lie, right? She stated that this isn't her charity, she's just the face of it.
Why did you and the board vote to give your foundation $10,000?
I'm the face of the foundation. My name is nowhere, sir.
Say again?
I'm the face.
It literally says the Tiffany Henyard Charity and Foundation. Who charity is it if it's not your charity? This is insane. And when they pushed for more answers, she ran upstairs and ducked away.
What was the purpose of going to Springfield?
Thank you guys. Hey, she doesn't have any more comments, guys.
We're going to talk. Why are you using public money for your personal charity?
$17,000 for insurance. Why?
And with that, her security detail hustled Henyard upstairs and blocked the staircase with a table.
Tiffany not only misuses the taxpayers' money for her own personal gain, but she also would fire anybody and destroy anybody who tries to get in her way of doing so.
So you stated that you won the FOIA case. That judgment isn't until October the 13th, 2023. So that case is still open, for the record. Also, we don't control the village website. Whatever is posted on the clerk's page, whatever is removed, whatever is added, we have no control over that. Just for the record as well.
Please take classes to learn how to do your job.
I have.
Because, hold on, Clark.
That's Deputy Clark. Because Deputy Clark stood in the way of what Mayor Tiffany wanted to do at that particular moment, she insulted Deputy Clark and told her to go watch a video to learn how to do her job, completely unprofessional and uncalled for in a professional setting and meeting. And then afterwards, she took her vendetta against Deputy Clark even further by sending the police to Deputy Clark's home to serve her termination papers.
That same day, that Friday, Dolton police went to Deputy Clark's home, her mother's home, and said, "We're doing a well-being check. Eris didn't come to work today." The biggest lie that could ever be told.
So you're from Dolton Police Department? And you're doing a wellness check? Yes.
Her mother is standing there very startled because while we were in the office, her mother called and we were talking to her. But yet, if someone come to your house, two officers, and say, "We're doing a well-being check on your child," what are you gonna think? Something has happened.
The reason why they went to their home is because the senior deputy and the deputy clerk had stepped out the office for a little minute, so the police couldn't locate them at the office. So they came to the home, gave the mama that weird excuse for why they were looking for her, and concealing their true intent, which was to serve her termination papers and to fire her. They eventually went back to the office and located Deputy Clark and alerted her that she was terminated.
Yeah, who's supposed to know? Who's supposed to knock the chair? No, I'm going to give everything that I want. Very well. Yeah.
So we gotta wrap this up, and we gotta escort you out. Get your color and stuff.
Anything that comes out.
You gotta ask her to sign. Yeah, I need to sign this.
No, I'm not.
Okay. And we've been instructed not to return to the building at all.
Would you mind walking out?
I don't know how much I need.
But here's the thing. The mayor has no powers to fire Deputy Clark. It's the board of trustees who appointed her. They have the power to fire Deputy Clark. So the mayor completely overstepped her bounds and did something completely illegal that could have cost the city a lot of money if the deputy clerk wanted to sue. But because the deputy clerk got a relationship with the board of trustees, she believes and she was told that she would get her job back, so she didn't sue.
Didn't know, Eris is appointed by me. And I'm the only person on the board of trustees that can terminate her, not the mayor on her own. So we're working on that right now, and trust me, she's gonna get her job back. But
now the mayor don't stop there with her abusement of power. She does it to just regular civilians and business owners whenever she sees it fit for her own personal gain. Take it for this situation. She was having an event on the same day as another resident who has a real popular car show. So the mayor knew that a lot of the residents would go to his car show opposed to her event. So she used her power and her friends in law enforcement to shut down his event. And then she told him, you have a real popular car show, just come and do it at my event. You know, I will give you the space to do it at my event. But if you don't do it at my event, you can't do it at all, and it's gonna get shut down. And he declined to do it at her event, and she made good on her promise and she shut it down.
A South Suburban car show is canceled after the entrance is barricaded with giant concrete blocks.
Now, the sponsor of that show and the Park District are calling it an act of revenge by the mayor in Dolton, Tiffany Henyard.
Dane Placco reports the Park District is now considering a lawsuit against the mayor.
Always a good time for everybody that comes out, fun, exciting, good for the community.
For the past 8 years, Darren Bosley has organized an annual car show here in the parking lot of Needles Park in Dolton. But after paying $1,000 to the Park District for this year's permit, Bosley got an unexpected call last Wednesday from Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard's top assistant,
saying that the show would be shut down, but if I move my event to her location on Greenwood, that I will be fine.
Did you take that as a threat?
Yes, I took that as bullying.
Sure enough, when Bosley showed up at the park Saturday morning, he found that giant concrete barricades had been placed at the entrance, and Dolton police were threatening to tow any cars that parked there.
We usually only see corruption like this when it comes to third world country. What she's doing is unprecedented. But even after everything she's done, that wouldn't be as serious as what she just did that could potentially land her in a jailhouse. And the FBI has announced they're currently investigating her because of what she just did.
In part 2 of our investigative series, the mayor of Dolton, who's also the Thornton Township supervisor, cements her salary with a last-minute vote.
Our Dane Placco reveals just how she did it. Dane?
Anthony and Natalie, she makes a whopping $224,000 a year. Now Thornton Township supervisor Tiffany Henyard wants to cut the salary of her position by nearly $200,000. What a great move for taxpayers, right?
She just voted and passed on a bill to cut the salary for her position, township supervisor, by over $200,000. So she was making $224,000, and they cut it down to $25,000 for the position. Now, at face value, you're thinking, oh, she's a savior, she's a saint. But when you're dealing with Tiffany, there's always a bigger play. There's always a bigger sham and a bigger scheme that she's working on that's not visible from eye view. And with more context, you start to see, oh no, this is actually fraud.
Well, the pay cut only happens if someone else gets that job. 2 weeks ago, the Township Board passed an ordinance that allows Henyard to continue collecting her $224,000 a year salary. But if anyone other than Henyard gets the job, the ordinance resets that salary to $25,000 a year. Odelson says that's blatantly unconstitutional because you can't set an elected official's salary based on who's holding the seat.
If you are a super dishonest person, or if you're slick, or if you've been around dishonest people, then chances are you've already spotted the fraud and the scheme from a mile away. So she passed an ordinance to where the salary for her position is decreased. Well, it only decreases to $25,000 once she leaves office. So as long as she's still in office, she makes $224,000. But here's where the election fraud comes into play. Because her decreasing the salary to $25,000 only when somebody else takes the position, that right there is a clear strategy to deter people from running.
You put a salary to attach to the job, to the officer. So it is a blatant attempt to dissuade other people from running and to allow the current supervisor to maintain the $250,000 or whatever it is.
Because she knows she's no longer in favor. She knows that the next election cycle she's going to lose. So she's trying to deter any suitors from running Because anybody who's worth something is not going to take a full-time position for $25,000 knowing how much work comes with it. So this lady is already thinking 4 steps ahead to rig an election because she knows she's not going to win it. This is absolutely disastrous, illegal, and unconstitutional, and she thinks she's going to get away with it. But luckily for us, the FBI has already announced they're probing into her. So who knows what's going to happen here, bruh. But she needs to be in jail, like ASAP and pronto. Y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this, all right? And if you're still watching, click on this video here somewhere on my screen to find out how Neon just got exposed. Click on this video here to find out what I'm talking about. Out of here, folks. Peace.